Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account. The link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available. The link for that too is in the description box below. Are you truly consistent with your manifestations? In this video, I want to cover the topic of persistence, what persistence actually means. And one of the biggest things that I have seen with my clients that have led them to receive movement, then it goes away. Then they receive movement, then it goes away. Then they receive movement, then it goes away. So let's cover this topic. And in this topic, first, what I would want to talk more about is what does persistence mean? Because a lot of people always ask me, what does persistence means? And I think that because there has been a lot of knowledge that people have spread, and I don't mean anyone in specific, but sometimes the content can be slightly misguiding, where we just assume that persistence means affirming. And that's to a certain level true, because affirmations represent something. And this was someone who I was too. When I started my journey, I also assumed that, hey, all the teachers I have read, because I did a lot of reading, all the teachers I have read talk about persistence and talk about techniques. So maybe I should just keep focusing on some techniques, because the more I focus on techniques, the more I will get results. So all I used to do was I used to do techniques all day long. But then my reactions weren't changing. I wasn't changing as a person. And if you are a follower of my page, you know how much I value changing yourself truly, and you know how much I value changing your perceptions, your mindset, your results, everything. So none of that was changing, and I just kept affirming, hoping things will change, still reacting to the same circumstances, never being consistent fully. And I used to think that if I'm affirming every day, that means I'm consistent every day. So persistence basically means my ability to show up in front of a circumstance as the new version of myself, regardless of what it is. I really like to use this word and because this triggers people, and this used to trigger me a lot, and I even made it my wallpaper. So the word is convenience. The question that you should be asking yourself is, am I just being persistent, quote unquote persistent, based on my convenience? Or am I being persistent when it's needed? And I recently also made a post about it on Instagram, so you can check it out. But when we talk about the fact of persistence, what I see is a few issues. Now I will explain each and every one of those issues so that you can understand where that comes from. How does it usually look? So let's take this woman. Let's say her name is Alex. So let's say Alex wants to manifest a specific person back in her life. Let's see how her cycle looks like. So she starts some techniques. She does that for 15 days. Now, after 15 days, she gets tired of not seeing any movement. So she gets back into the same old pattern of self-pitying. She doesn't have healthy outlets and doesn't actually know what to do when emotions get overwhelming. And instead of trying to learn that, or trying to invest in her mind to learn that, she can literally just read a lot of books and learn that. I know it's not that easy, but any action in particular that can get you in that direction, she can put some action in that side. But what she does is that she cries about it to her friends. She just gets lazy. She procrastinates. She just puts herself down. She just starts to talk to her friends about why things never work out for her and all these things. Then 5 days later, she gets into the same pattern where things are not working out for her, and she just gets fed up with that. So she finally decides to get back on track. She says that from tomorrow I will be consistent again. Now she does that again, and now she starts being in that zone for a long time. The thing is that this pattern keeps going on with people in similar kind of ways for huge times, and they don't even realize it. I have a lot of people who come to me and tell me, hey, I have been persisting for 1 year, it has not been working out. I have been doing this consistently for 3 years, it has not been working out. For 9 months, for 10 months, for this much time. And I only ask them a question, okay, how much, if you have to give me a prolonged period of time of consistency, how long have you actually been consistent? with your emotional regulation, with showing up in front of circumstances as the new version of you, with handling your emotions, with handling your nervous system, with being consistent with your techniques, with being consistent with your methods. And the answer is, oh, I did that for 15 days, but then I didn't see something, so I just let it go. And then 5 days later, and this and that. If you yourself are saying that I want something, at least give yourself the best chance to succeed. At least give yourself a prolonged period of time where you are consistent with something. At least give yourself a prolonged period of time where you are able to do something and sticking to it, not just when it's easy, but when you actually should do it. A hot and cold manifestation usually comes because we are hot and cold inside, because we keep going back and forth in our mind about things and we keep expecting things to be different. How would a relationship look like if you were involved in a relationship and the guy says that, hey, do you want to go out? And you said that yes, and he comes to pick you up and you are not, wearing a dress and everything, you're just casually dressed. And he says, oh no, I will only date you, I will only take you out on a date if you are fully dressed in a very good dress and wearing high heels and things like that. The relationship wouldn't work out, right? But isn't that what you're doing with your manifestations? You are just being persistent when things are shiny, and as soon as you see the ugly part of the journey where things are not going good, where there is a lot of trauma, a lot of healing to be done, a lot of wounds that are there, a lot of obsession that you need to deal with, some emotions that you need to provide yourself, you just say, oh no, I'm just going to go back on the same pattern because changing is difficult, and you go back on the same pattern. I don't mean to sound rude, because I have been there, and I'm sorry if I am being very honest here, but I have been there for huge times in my life, and believe me, it was always a choice. I was choosing being like that because the other part was just too difficult, or was just unknown, or I just didn't want to let this part go. So these are all choices that we make of not being consistent in front of things when they get difficult. These are choices that we make to persist only when it's convenient. And these are choices that we make when things are giving us stress or pressure and we just don't want to deal with it. And I know that not all the times will you have a perfect outlet to deal with it. I know that you will not always know what to do when these emotions get overwhelming. But don't you think that in those moments, a better way to spend your time would be to learning how? And even if you feel like I'm just grasping at straws, do that. If you feel something can work, do that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least you will have tried. At least you will spend your time in a healthy outlet and trying things through a healthy set of emotions. At least give yourself a prolonged cycle of change. Because if you want consistent results, it cannot come when you have had a set of trauma about something for a long time and you're only consistent for 15 days. And coming to the start of the topic, when I was talking about that, I thought affirmations is it? No, it's not just affirmations. It's my affirmations. It's my perceptions. It's my reactions. It's how I view circumstances. It's my reactions. It's my actions and my boundaries. It's a combination of all of it that actually results in me being who I am. Because I need to be who I am in order for me to get results. And who I am has to be someone who has what they want. If I cannot be someone who has what they want, why will I get what I want? And a lot of times we are so desperately waiting for our manifestations, but if they were to show up tomorrow, we would not be in a position to enjoy them. Because we might not be there, but we are not even putting our best effort to reach there. And this video might seem a little bit tough and might seem a little bit harsh, but I think that it's time that we are slightly open to taking responsibility for our actions, because I want to see you guys get what you say you want. And I want you to stick to it. I want that whenever you see my videos, it's from a new level and you are on a different level every time I upload, because you keep on changing and you keep on working on yourself. And I don't mean you need to keep working on yourself to get what you want. You can get what you want tomorrow. All I mean is that at least be consistent for a prolonged period of time, enough to get results. Because it's just, if I would go to the gym one day a week and then not go for 5 days and then not go for the next 2 weeks and then go again for 2-3 days and then go to the trainer and say, hey, sir, I paid you money for personal coaching, but where are my biceps? Where are my abs? He would laugh at me. But because that's not how it goes. Consistency is not a choice, it's your duty. Changing is not a choice, it's your duty. Because you changing will mean that you will get what you want. And if you get what you want, that would mean that the world will benefit from it. I really intend that you actually take the message from this video, that this video is here to provide you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.